Yay. Yay. About that.
Well, I gotta tell you, I got an offer.
Yeah. Right.
Me.
The worst Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Getting a promotion, 33% increase in the family.
I mean, if it keeps Ursa from being the healer lead, I'll do it.
Dire feces.
Wow.
Traffic, as much traffic.
Okay, let me know if I'm missing anything here. So first and foremost, we are going to be upping the item level requirement, as well as the artifact power in your weapon to be able to raid. I think we landed on 865. Is that what we had decided? And then we are also going to do 30 points for normal, 35 points for heroic. I think most people are probably around that, but that's also a way for you to understand if you're going to be swapping with, a different character for this content. That's where you're going to need to be in order to raid. TOV, probably just going to leave it as where it is. You should be EN geared, and we may have to make something for that. Probably minimum of 850, 855 for TOV. But once the content's on farm, it's not as big of an issue. We can look at gearing at that point in time on the normal, but I'm sure that we'll be, hitting our heads against the wall for a while on that content. We have also talked about kind of some minimum requirements as well from a performance standard. We are going to be looking at deaths, actually. If you are one that is dying consistently on a boss before, within the 2 to 3 minute mark, that's going to be a cause for us to probably have a conversation if it's a consistent problem. And then we'll also be looking at, are you improving from an average score type thing? If we can go look back and look at your character and see that you're showing a steady improvement, that's not really an issue. But if you're staying at 15% all the time, we're going to be probably talking to you about your deaths and probably talking to you about performing. If you go long enough without performing, we're probably going to move you to the farm team and off of the progression portion of it. Yes, as you could die a lot the first day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, 85% or higher. Yeah, the big thing here is improvement. I don't think that anyone expects perfection. These fights are definitely challenging. They're probably the most challenging encounters that Blizzard's created, and they've gotten really good at making them. And so, but at the same time, we don't want people to just be able to die and AFK and not really contribute. It really is just at that point just adding extra health and damage to the boss, and it's making it harder for those that aren't. Dying consistently. So we'll be looking at that. I will have the guides, 3 of the guides posted for Tuesday. If we go beyond that, then I will have probably 5 bosses prepared, just so that we can get to them quickly. We'll be starting in normal. And then if we get to a wall with normal, we'll probably start the first couple of bosses on heroic and see if we can get some higher item level that way. Pretty typical stuff. So over the weekend, I'll actually post them after this. Take some time, read through them, try to understand it as best you can. There's the Fat Boss videos they look like they're pretty accurate. There may be some slight changes, but I would recommend looking at those as well. And we'll have them posted up on the website. Miss anything on the requirements there? Yeah, so with tier, we discussed a bunch of ways that we could maybe make it so that someone who already has a tier piece could, get priority, but we felt that that was not really fair all the way across the board and could cause a lot more drama with loot. So there's that, but what we will do is incentivize people who are willing to pass their loot to another player. That way it's more of a, hey, I want to do this rather than a force thing. We will give EP for that. I think we settled on 100 EP for passing on the loot. But that way it's a choice. If you want to pass that to a DPS class or to a tank class or to somebody else who's got to their second or maybe to their 4th piece, even if you don't have any at that stage, and that's great. We definitely encourage that, but at the same time, don't want to make it feel like you're raiding for no purpose at all. I mean, loot's nice to have. And I think that covers that.
Oh yeah. All right, real simple. So that it's fair to you, because where it turns out not to be fair is if you end up swapping and I don't get the EP moved over from one to another because of the decay, you're the one that suffers. Because if I don't get the right amount moved over, it will actually hurt you and your priority rating will go down, and instead of because of the amount of EP and GP that is defaulted to characters. So as I'm trying to move it from one to another, so all I'm needing you to do is, if you want to swap over, that is, it doesn't happen right before a raid. And if it does happen, I'm not going to be, if you decide to swap over and show up Thursday evening, you've got a new one, I'm just not going to try to swap it and update that during the raid. So it's going to affect your EP at that time, which means you're less likely to be able to get loot because of the standing you're going to have at that moment. It's real easy to switch the numbers around if we do it ahead of time, especially before the character that you're swapping to starts collecting EP and GP, and especially before they start having a decay happen. It's real easy to swap open. Literally, it'll take me a minute or two and it'll be set. That's all that needs to happen. I'm not on every minute, but I'm on probably every single day at some point in the evenings. Yep, you can message me in-game emails. I'll see, group me. I'll see several ways to get a hold of me, just to let me know, and we can set up a time and literally just get your stuff switched over in EP, and you'll be good to go. And
A bunch of us.
Who are the 6th, 7th, and 8th person? You just never saw them? Oh yeah.
Well, there was the 5 of us that did the mythic dungeon. Then bar, so that's 6 right off.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot 2 of the people.
We are let me get that out of the way. We are not wearing the flame. That is
Oh, come on. That's a good one.
Maybe if we were in like 2nd grade.
my god.
I'm just kidding, by the way. It does look like.
The logo.
Crickets. I like it.
Do I have to come in on Sunday?
Sundays.
You're going to need to come in on Sunday. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a HoZ Facebook page? I did not know that.
Minus 50 EPGP.
He doesn't really rate with us anyway.
EP or GP?
Okay, we'll let that one go.
Not in the Cool Kids Club anymore.
The Facebook page, the Twitter page, YouTube. I didn't know Google Plus was still a thing. Email. Don't email. That goes to Baratar, and I do not have access to it.
Does it now? So it's not like he's notified every time he gets an email? Oh, I was just gonna spam it.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the last one is an RSS feed, which, hey,
What RSS is?
So I do have a question. What's Barr's long-term plans? Is he stepping away permanently, or is he planning on coming back?
So far, 90 days is what we're looking at for him to maybe look at rating. He says that he has been based on our conversations. He's been working pretty much all day and all night. He's barely had time to really do anything but focus on the job. So this was definitely the right call for him. I think in 90 days, after he's kind of proven himself or whatever, he can reassess at that point. So he said that he would try to hit the occasional raid if he could. We might see him occasionally for Nighthold or whatever, but I would definitely say we're probably not going to know 100% until after those 90 days pass.
Gotcha.
His mini novel.
Manifesto.
And then another note on the tanking. The reason why we're kind of looking at it, Zen's been feeling a little bit burned out. I'm not exactly sure where he's standing at this point. I know they took this week off. It very well may be that we're down one tank, and I like to have two people consistently tanking, two people that are ready to go, and then potential one or two more, just so that we know that we have a line of succession in case a bunch of tanks drop. I know that in Warlords of Draenor we lost a lot of tanks throughout the expansion. So if you're interested in that at all, again, feel free to talk to me. It's definitely something we need to probably hop on pretty quick.
Yeah, we lost like 6 tanks in Draenor, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you wouldn't kill them, they wouldn't leave.
Losing me wasn't my fault, sadly.
A lot of it's just it's just tough. I've seen some of I talked to some of the previous tanks before, and some of it's just sometimes life comes up. Other times certain mechanics just they burn you out after a while. And some of them are just it's hard to wipe when it's the tank's fault, right? So you just have to be very very aware that tanking is a huge role. It's a huge responsibility, and especially at this expansion, it's a lot with the mythic pluses. So,
and then there's tanks who pretend they're quitting the game and then they just leave the guild and join another guild.
Yeah.
Who done that?
Wait, that's the thing?
There was one of the tanks that did that.
Yeah, one of the warrior tanks.
Mm-hmm.
I will be switching to my warrior for night holds, so I can sometimes tank if needed.
Yeah, well, we've got a Pokken as well. We do ask that people play all specs of their classes as needed or as requested at times. So there may be a time where we rely on that. So just make sure that those sets are ready to go. It doesn't have to be perfectly itemized, but decently so. Fury and Arms, or sorry, Fury and Prod at least share some synergy there.
God. Fuck Ursa. Or not Ursa, Ursa.
What?
Sorry. Oops.
Yeah, it's kind of how it works. I think if we're really smart about it, there's going to be some fights that just play to certain strengths more. Ideally, I'd like to be able to capitalize on that. If I'm able to get like a druid in rather than a DK, or if I get a DK in rather than a demon hunter because of whatever the strengths are, that would be ideal. And we've talked about that in the past, and we've done it a couple of times. But I feel like looking at Kira on Helia, she was taking about 480 DPS per swing to my almost 600. That adds up over the course of a fight.
Hey, buddy.
Hello. Hola.
So, but I guess that's that. So let's wrap it up.
Oh, important guild announcement. It's Daycon's birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Happy 15th.
Happy birthday.
He's just in time for the end of the meeting.
Good one. You really made me feel good.
Speaking of making people feel adequate, one last thing before we wrap it up. Ippakun, you have been deemed adequate. You are now no longer a trial.
Adequacy!
Yay.
You are now a raider.
Welcome to the failboat.
Okay.
Mog's the captain.
Mhm.
Was the thing?
What?
I thought he was the admiral over the whole fleet of fail boats.
The rear admiral of the failboats.
Ooh, it's only got different.
Sorry.
So are we going to be going back into TOV at some point, or are you done there?
That's a good question. So the plan is to focus most of our efforts on Nighthold. If we do hit the wall early on, we will probably go back and do some heroic. I don't think that we're probably going to be spending a lot of time in normal at this point. It doesn't really seem like it's worth the time. We'll probably just phase it out entirely. But
so with school and everything, I had to miss Tuesday. Unfortunately, I wouldn't mind seeing a death of heroic Helia at some point. That's all.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably do a little bit of it, for the nights that we just can't make any progress. But EN's definitely phased completely out, and then TOV will be phased out from a normal perspective.
Normal TOV we do on Friday Flex, so.
Yeah, so if you want to hit it up, that's a great point, Kira.
Yeah, I'm going to get the heroic myself. But yeah, excellent.
Let me get another one.
I'm not online in Guild.
Just as a quick little thing, my normal name wouldn't let me into Mumble, so this is Alcar. Says Nigis though. Cool.
I got it.
With
Yeah, we'll see who we can get. Figure this is not a mandatory run. We can do an EN run. If we don't get enough, we can just do some Mythic Plus.